Welcome to My Body, My Bump, My Baby, where we help women be empowered, intentional mothers. This podcast is best enjoyed sipping tea or taking a stroll in nature. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be substituted for professional psychological or medical advice, diagnoses, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician, midwife, or other qualified health provider with any questions about your personal situation, health, or medical condition. Sometimes the most innocent interventions can start a cascade of interventions that you were not expecting. Having a medical provider break your bag of water or artificially rupture your membranes, also known as AROM, is one of those innocent interventions. Often it is recommended to speed up your labor. And when you are in the thick of labor, sister, that's gonna sound like a fantastic idea. There are no pharmaceuticals involved, and your bag of water will rupture at some point anyway, so no big deal, right? Well, it may be a bigger deal than you might expect. Here are 4 reasons you may want to decline the recommendation of breaking your bag of water during labor. 1. Your bag of water creates a cushion between you and your baby's body during each surge. Imagine if I were to put a hard, rigid rock into a water balloon and have you squeeze the water balloon with both hands. You would not likely feel the hard ridges of the rock floating in the middle. Now, if I were to get a sharp pin and make a tiny hole in the bag so that all of the water runs out, and then again ask you to squeeze the balloon with both hands, this time, you would definitely feel all of the hard ridges of the rock, and you might even say it hurts to squeeze the balloon now. This is the same as what is happening in your body. Your bag of water is creating a cushion between you and all of your baby's tiny hard bones. When your bag of water breaks, we now feel contractions that press up against your baby's bones rather than soft, cushiony water. 2. Your bag of water helps create space for your baby to move into the optimal position for being born. During labor, you will sway your hips through contractions, and your baby will wiggle and wiggle, making its way down to engage your pelvic canal in preparation for birth. If our bag of water breaks before baby has wiggled its way into an optimal fetal position, then the baby may have a difficult time moving into an optimal birthing position. This is a very common reason that cesarean birth occurs. Sometimes babies engage mom's pelvis a bit wonky, or in a medical term, asynclitic, and can no longer be born vaginally. 3. Did you know that your bag of water will typically break naturally close to the end of labor or while you are pushing, with the exception of a person who is GBS positive? This is important because at this point, your baby will arrive very soon, typically within 1 to 4 hours. Once your bag of water breaks, bad bacteria can begin to colonize your uterus. This means that from this point forward, time is precious. If your baby is not born within 4 to 8 hours, the risk of developing a uterine infection begins to rise. Babies should be born within 12 to 24 hours after the bag of water ruptures. In the case where your baby takes longer than 4 to 8 hours after rupture of membranes to be born, antibiotics will be administered to help prevent a uterine infection. This last one is purely based on my experience. I have attended hundreds of births and have seen providers artificially rupture membranes to speed up labor many times. In my opinion, there is a 50-50 chance that this intervention will achieve the intended goal. If you are considering this intervention, ask for a minute to consider this. Take a deep breath. Consider your personal situation and circumstances. Weigh out the risks and the benefits, then make your decision. There is never a reason to be rushed into this particular intervention. It is never medically necessary, meaning this intervention on its own does not save lives. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for joining us for another nourishing moment.